I already hit start. So you want me to stop?
Sounds right.
Alright.
It's not a Cody stream if I'm not quiet.
Sir, I haven't left you quiet for a whole stream since like Mega Man.
It's not a Cody stream if I don't start off silent.
Alright. That's right, I forgot this
See,
just
is
starts.
like
I forgot you just start fighting at the very beginning.
yeah, you're Phoenix versus, I'm assuming that's supposed to be Ifrit.
Yeah, I believe so.
See, I've played a Final Fantasy before.
Yeah, I know Ifrit. I think this intro is dumb. I've said it. Not, I mean, the whole intro is bad, but
I have no idea.
I think this specific part is bad.
Republicans? What the fuck?
I think this specific part is bad. Like, you're, yeah, it's pretty, but it could just be a cutscene. Why are you mashing triangle as your first?
A lot of games have really gotten into that. Do you remember the like Xenoverse things where it's like, hey, here's the opening cutscene of Goku fighting through all his different battles. Press square to punch.
I actually don't, but I believe you.
Yeah, Xenoverse as you fight like Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, and then Boo, and like all of it's like it doesn't tell you to use any special moves. It's just like here's how to move and here's how to punch. Like a lot of games have really gotten into the like, it's a cutscene, but you're also helping. And you know what we call those? QuickTime events.
Yeah, we seem to have. There was a rise of QuickTime events.
There's also been a major fall in it. Like I don't think QuickTime events are nearly as common as they once.
Oh no, they
were
fell
like in the mid to late 2010s.
Yeah, no, they definitely fell, but yeah, mid to late 2010s, they were everywhere.
It's a shame that only one game has really put QuickTime events to good use, and that was somehow the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Yeah, that was great. I thought you were going to give a sarcastic answer, but no.
Also, the Ultimate Ninja Storm games are like the only games that have ever somehow used a QuickTime event to increase the like tension.
My only problem with the Ultimate Ninja Storm games is I played 4 first, and I had a hard time going back.
Yeah, so that's there. First of all, 1 is rough. 1 is very rough when compared to all the others. I think 3 and 4 are relatively comparable, but 1 is rough. And yeah, it's definitely one of those, like, if you play this in order, you're like, oh man, it only gets better. And if you try it any other way, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't play 1 through 3 very much. I only played each one for like a couple minutes. But I was definitely like, oh, I played 4. I'll just play 4 again. But I do want to go through those games. At some point, I want to go through those games in order and play the story. Is it covered? Does 1 through 4 cover the whole story?
Yep. More or less. There's some overlap between the two. Because, like many One Piece games, they are in like the middle of an arc when they release the game.
Fair.
So they just made their own ending.
Ah, fair. So you have to play the proper arc in the next game.
Yeah. So like 3 was finishing the middle of the war arc. So they're like, oh yeah, it ends with Naruto beating Tobi and then Madara. Yeah, that makes sense. And people were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then we read the manga and it's like, yeah, actually, but also a goddess comes down from the sky. So then 4 is like, yeah, you actually do have to beat them, but for realsies this time. And then a goddess comes down from the sky.
Naruto. God, this intro is butts. Something like walking. I love walking.
So only ever played 15. Where's the boy band?
Well, sir, there's actually I have no idea. I know about the first anything after the first like 2 or 3 hours of this game. I know nothing about. I saw some people cover it like when it came out. But sorry, go ahead.
I know nothing about Final Fantasy 16.
Fair.
Yeah. I literally. That's why when I started playing the game, like I know I'm a few minutes ahead of you. When you started, I was like, his name is Wyvern? Because apparently I didn't even know the main character's name.
Sir, what are you talking about? He's in Tekken 8 now.
Is he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's out yet, but he is the next Tekken character, which is
I
kind of
don't
neat.
like. I'm not good at fighting games, so
It's
I don't
fair.
pay attention to them.
It's kind of neat because Noctis was in 7.
And then they have sex. Sorry,
Oh.
this. I got to a different part of the cutscene than you're at.
I mean, I don't know where you are in the cutscene, but there is a very suggestive scene.
I mean, you'll see it. You'll find it.
Okay, I don't know if you're doing a
Promise you
bit or if you came across a scene, because I remember.
No. Oh, they are actually fucking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought you were doing a bit, and I was like, oh, well, you're in store for something. No. Yeah, that scene is very something.
They are snogging. Okay.
All right. So is that where you got? You just got to the sex scene?
Apparently.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Can you not skip cutscenes?
Man,
Okay, you can. You have to pause then
whatever
skip.
happened to the good old days of Final Fantasy? Like the one lady that's dressed only in belts, and the one cat.
I like Kate Sith.
I'm glad you know who I was talking about.
Oh, I'm not wearing. I was like yesterday. I was wearing my Kate Sith shirt, and I looked down. I was like, oh, what am I wearing today? But no. Got on
I've
fifth.
never beat Final Fantasy 7. I've got past, I think, the first disc, well, the equivalent to that, and I never went back and touched it again. So almost all my knowledge of beyond that point comes from the Bridge series.
Fair. I was gonna say the Game Grumps, or not the Game Grumps song, the Ninja Sex Party song.
Nope, never listened to it.
Fair.
The Bridge series, underrated from Team 4 Star.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm so surprised they finished it.
Yeah, I was too. You know what has genuinely surprised me is, I know that they got like really sick of Dragon Ball because of all the copyright strikes.
hmm
As far as I know, they never had any issues with Square Enix. I am genuinely surprised that they did not just like do another abridged series, but this time it's like Final Fantasy VIII or whatever, or like a different anime. Like, I'm
Yeah.
genuinely surprised after making 3 abridged series, they're like, yeah, we're just not going to do these ever again.
Yeah, they definitely could have done. If they like the PS1 style, they obviously there's 3 PS1 games to go from. There's a couple movies. Surprisingly, Final Fantasy's not really gotten an anime.
It's had a couple movies.
Yeah, it's not a couple movies. I think there was I think Crisis Core got like a mini series. But
Yeah, I don't know. Oops. Oh, okay.
But this is an
So, you know more about this game than I do.
Yeah.
Is the point of this movie is that we're killing the gods?
I
know that sounds very generic, like that could be any Final Fantasy game.
was gonna say.
But like, let me rephrase this. Is the like central plot that we're doing this? Because like the central plot of Final Fantasy VII is not we're gonna kill the gods.
Mhm.
The central plot of Final Fantasy III is not we're killing the gods.
It just leads
That's
up
how
to
they
that.
end. Yeah.
Fair.
Like the plot of Final Fantasy VII is, hey, Cloud's old wartime buddy has gone crazy. We had to stop him.
Yeah. The answer is I have no idea. I don't really know the. I don't know what the central plot is because I never got there in the demo.
Okay.
So I have no idea
Fair enough.
because yeah, this demo, this beginning takes. Hey, now it's got to the sex scene, so I'm like 4 minutes behind you.
Yeah, she. I knew that they were I knew that they were into each other when she called him a cock. I was like, you don't call somebody a cock unless you want theirs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they started snogging, and I was like, wait a minute.
What?
My innocent Christian eyes, give me a second.
Oh wow! I forgot I remember the scene being weird, but I forgot just how fucking.
Like, he starts straight up motorboating.
I was gonna
her, bro.
say I just got to where he's motorboating her.
He is straight up
Rated E for everyone.
rated E for everyone. Whip your dick out now.
So I'm gonna assume you haven't watched it because you're not super into Final Fantasies, but it's an unpopular opinion. But I really like the Final Fantasy VII movie. I think it's good.
The only thing I know about it is that's the one where Cloud gets his sword, which is made of like 7 other swords strapped together.
Yeah,
And as stupid as that sounds, it looks cool as fuck.
it's really cool.
Like it's one of those, you could say that if you said this in any other context, I'd call it the dumbest fuck. Oh, come on, that is so a platform. I'm sorry, like I'm doing a cutscene where you're running away from a battle, and they literally made you a bridge of rocks, and the game's like, sorry, you can't go that way. Invisible wall. Like, it is the most like obvious you're supposed to go here I've ever seen in my life, and the game is just like, no. Anyways, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like if you told me like, oh, this is Trunks from Dragon Ball. He's really cool. His sword is made of 7 other swords, and he tied them together. I'd be like, oh, that sounds stupid as fuck. But then like seeing Cloud Sword, it's like, oh, this looks kind of cool actually.
Yeah, no, I think that movie's just cool.
I know nothing about it. I've never seen it. I just know that's where Cloud, his sword is made of like 7 other swords. It's like Spinner, if you remember him from My Hero Academia when he first showed up.
Oh yeah,
And
that
he had a
stupid
sword that
fucking
was made of like swords and chainsaws and shit that he just like belted together.
his like Game of Thrones sword.
That's how I imagine it. And then like, but like Cloud's looks nothing like that.
All right, so I think again, as I've already bitched and will continue to bitch, this intro sucks. But it's crazy to me how close to a good intro they have. Because the fucking battlefield is Titan versus Shiva. That is so.
It's a Titan. That's his name.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
Earth one.
struggling to remember his name.
Or it should be.
I remember the 2 fire ones, and then
Okay.
I saw. I was like, I'm pretty sure Ice is Shiva, but it occurred to me. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember the Earth one.
Yeah, fair. No, it's just Titan. It's not. I don't know if it's like the Greek god. I don't know where they got Titan from, but it definitely doesn't sound like the others. Because I know Shiva.
Because all the other ones are based off of either mythological like creatures from the history, or gods. Like Shiva's obviously Hindu.
Yeah.
Leviathan's from what's the word?
I don't know.
So it's I can't remember
You're
the
talking like
word.
Viking culture?
No,
Okay.
no. There's a word for like Old Testament specifically.
Mm.
It's not biblical because the Old Testament is also part of like the Quran and whatever the Jewish book is, or also whatever the Muslim book is. I can't remember if Quran is Jewish. Like there's a word specifically for the Old Testament, but Leviathan's from the Old Testament. Then like Ifrit's Arabian, so on and so forth. Titan is Greek, but like it's not. Titans are a thing, but there's not a guy named Titan.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure if they just got it from the Titans or if it was from something else, a different culture.
I don't know where. Actually, I do know where Bahamut came from. He came from the same place as Leviathan, obviously.
There.
Whatever that's called.
But yeah, you have a fucking Shiva versus Titan battle, and you have a bunch of soldiers there, and instead you're running along the side.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, you gonna go over there and punch Titan? What do you think
Nope.
this is? The Sewer of Wrath?
Make me one of the soldiers in the fucking battlefield, and have us learn how to fight from there, with the fucking Shiva and Titan fighting around you. Instead of just running alongside. With a bunch
I'm
of
waiting for
boring...
you to get that stupid rock thing, because I want you to like see exactly what I was talking about.
We'll see, I don't remember. We're just being pushed, we're sliding right now down the mountain.
Oh shit!
Whee! Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go. Oh yeah, I was gonna watch Sonic the Hedgehog last weekend, but then my Paramount Plus couldn't get Paramount Plus to work. But it's now streaming. So for the cool price of My parents' Paramount Plus. I can watch Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic 3?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
As having not seen 2, it's okay.
Fair. Yeah, I'm expecting there to be the dumb human parts and some dumb kid humor, but I'm expecting the cool bits to be cool.
Apparently, people are mad that Eggman wasn't confirmed to be gay.
Two Fairies. I don't know what he is in 3, but in 2 he's very him and his friend are very queer coded.
Having again seen only 1, him and his buddy never struck me as like, these two are definitely fucking in their off time.
That's how they were in 2. Absolutely.
Gotcha. I think the problem in 2 is that Jim Carrey was just like, his Eggman is like all pretentious, like looking down on people all the time.
Fair.
Yeah, and that includes to his assistant. He's like, since you're the only one who's even like halfway competent as me, he's like, and I want to be clear here, I say halfway as like as a kindness. I in fact think you're only like 1/4. And I'm like, what I love to tell people, I like. And so people are like, why aren't they fucking? I'm like, what I like to tell my girlfriend all the time is a reminder that she's nowhere near as good as me.
Yeah, that's how you. Hey, as someone who's in a very long relationship, it's the key to success, baby.
Do you remember when and you feel like you would know about this? You're relatively up to date on like the games that are stupid as fuck. Do you ever hear about the game Super Seducer?
Oh, I know about Super Seducer.
Yeah, I remember seeing somebody play it. I don't even remember who, but the guy.
Alpha Red?
No, I don't remember who was playing it. It wasn't Alpha Red though.
Yeah, that's how I know it from.
They got to the point of the game of Super Seducer. He's like, one of the best ways to hit on a girl is called the put down. And he walks over to a girl and he's like, I'm not normally into fat chicks. I don't think this works at all, bro.
Well, yeah. Good old Super Seducer. Yeah, I know from Alfred, because him and his friends without benefits are actually mentioned in the second game.
Really?
Yeah, they have a shout out because I don't know if it's because they helped popularize the game or not, but
I would, of all the games to be mentioned in, that one would probably be one of the ones I want the least.
I mean, it'd be cool to be in, but yeah, it's definitely not. If you're already successful, it's definitely not like also mentioned in Super Seducer.
It's like we had to get this out of the way at some point. It's like a stream quota. It's like when people bring up that Hitler was a big fan of Walt Disney. It's like, probably not the most glowing endorsement.
I've actually never heard that before.
Yeah, so I'm sure you know that he was a painter.
Yeah.
One of his like big inspirations that he loved the art style of is Walt Disney, and he used to draw like a lot of fan art of like Snow White and stuff.
Makes sense. God, I'm dodging.
So he was a big fan of him.
Also, I'm way past the mountain sliding, and I did not come across the Bridge of Rocks.
There is a point in time before you right before you have to climb up the hill during the Titan and Shiva battle.
Mm-hmm.
There's like rocks fall down on the path you're in, and it makes a perfect bridge. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're supposed to keep the high ground. And I tried doing that, and the game was like, no.
Oh, is that one of the ones where they tell you to go to the side?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't notice. I went to the side.
I'm sorry. Am I misremembering this? Did it not just say, yeah, you mean you're doing it right now? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I could have sworn that it just said that square was melee, and I'm hitting the melee button and I'm just throwing fireballs.
Yeah, square is melee. Triangle should be fire.
Yeah. Oh. There was
Whee!
definitely a point in time where I was just spamming square button because I'm right up on him. My character's just throwing fireballs.
Fireball. Do 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 do.
Which, I mean, in fairness, if I had the choice between smacking somebody with a wooden sword and throwing a fireball at them, I know which one I'm choosing, but...
Also, yeah, I just realized you're practicing with a wooden sword. Also, he's wearing fucking his fucking chain and plate mail.
Yeah.
But then you fucking bring out fire.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's like the rules of anime. The strongest. I remember I see someone list the strongest things in anime. It's like punches are number one, then swords, then way below that it's like guns, and then way below that it's explosions.
Yeah. Well, somebody like listed. I know you're a huge Naruto fan, but somebody was like listing the most effective elements, and it's like lightning style, then wind style, then earth style, then water style, and then it's like ice style, so on and so forth, and like at the very end it's like fire style. It's like the most powerful element has not hurt a single character.
Does Amaterasu not count?
Amaterasu is the only move in the entirety of Naruto, the only fire style move in the entirety of Naruto that has ever... That's not true. There's one other that has burned a character.
Really? Wow.
Yes. Characters get hit by like fireball and then they like come out the other side and they're just fine. The only other move that has ever burned somebody is Asuma, the Shikamaru's teacher. Has a move where he breathes out. It's supposed to be burning ash, but it's actually gunpowder. So the like burning ash sticks to people and then he blows it up. And he managed to burn himself that way.
Hey, that's a victory for fire style.
Yep. So.
That really surprises me that fire was that useless.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like, if you look between the elements, like it should be the first or second strongest. Like behind it, it's either it or lightning style. But it's like by far the worst.
Fair. I saw a breakdown the other day. I don't know how accurate it is, but I choose to believe it because I'm not going to look it up. But it was both Avatar Aang and Korra and how much they used each element.
I saw that too.
I was like, that's neat. Korra loves fire.
Yeah, all I saw it was like Aang uses wind like air like 10 times more than he uses all three of the other elements combined. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it makes
the new show coming out. Did you see some of the notes that they posted for it? Apparently,
I did not. I just saw the general concept.
Apparently, the only note I saw is like apparently is like Korra haters justified in it's canon in the new show that Korra is considered like the worst Avatar in history. And I was like, huh. I mean, there's definitely things she did that like I'm not shocked that the has gone down really poorly in history, but also like worst in history.
Yeah, I know the world went to shit, but
the big thing I think that she probably did that fucked over everybody like for generations to come is she merged the spirit world and the physical world.
Yeah, that was always stupid.
I'll say, which if you don't remember, directly led to the events of Book 4, where they started destroying cities with spirit energy.
Yeah, I always thought that was stupid. I'm like, why? But the spirit world doesn't want, like, there was never a part in...
Nobody asked for this.
Yeah, there was never a part in Book 2, at least that I remember, that it was like, oh, this is good. The spirits want this, or the world needs it, whatever.
It's so she's like told like, oh, the Avatar's supposed to be the liaison, the bridge between the worlds. She's like, oh, I'm supposed to bridge the worlds, and she merges them. Like, I think you took your job a little bit too literally there, bro.
Yeah, I always thought that was a bit stupid, but I also don't like the idea of... I mean, we'll see if the show comes out, but like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of over a time skip being like, oh, this Avatar you just watched for, grow and develop for 4 books. Well, she was actually the worst ever. The world is fucking ruined.
I can't wait for the new Avatar. Because he's going to be an Earthbender. We already know that. That's the cycle.
It's a she too, I believe.
Okay. Them. I don't know. I
That's
didn't
about-
see that part. I can't wait for them to be there. Like, okay, let's. Oh, I have all the past avatars to guide me, and it's only Korra because she broke the cycle. She erased all the other ones.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, she did. Okay, she did fuck up twice. Well, that wasn't a fuck up, right? That was
Did
actually.
you learn the elements? I don't know. I was born with 3 of them. 3 of them just came to me immediately. So I don't know. Fucking get good.
I was gonna say she fucked, but I was like, that's right. She didn't fuck up that one. That happened to her.
Yeah, she. The ones were taken away from her by
Yeah.
the Dark Avatar.
God, that's such a dumb fucking concept.
I hate the idea of the evil spirit. I think that like the evil spirit itself is not a bad idea. I think the fact that it just evolves into Dark Avatar is kind of stupid. But
Yeah.
I think that like the final battle being against her uncle and against the Dark Spirit would have been more interesting than them merging into a Dark Avatar.
Yeah. It also just didn't feel personable enough for fighting your uncle.
I would say, which is weird considering it's her uncle.
But at that point, I was checked out. Book 2 fucking sucked. It's by far the worst of the animated. It's by far the worst season of the animated series.
No, so it's definitely the worst of the of Avatar, the series in general.
Yeah.
I think it's book 2, Korra book 2, Korra book 4. Probably Korra book 1. It's Korra book 1 or Avatar or Aang book 1. And then it's like replace whichever one you didn't give the third worst with the other one. And it's like Aang book. I don't know. After that, it gets murky because all 3 of the next books are all pretty good.
I was gonna say book 2 and 3, and then Core 3 are all
Really good, yeah.
and I would say Core 1 and Aang 1 are about, for me, it's about on par. I know you said they're replaceable, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But even though I agree with your order completely, I do think the gap between Core 4 and Core 2 is not close. Core 4 is watchable.
Which is funny because it was actually, if I remember right, that was the book that they didn't televise.
Yep.
Or they didn't televise much.
Yep, that one went straight to streaming.
It like started off in the worst streaming too. It was only on their website for a while.
Yep. I think 3 was this. I know 3 was fuck you too, because after 2 bombed, and then they were like, oh, well, fuck you then. But
It
also,
struggled, but it only got televised.
did it? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Because I remember watching. Do you remember or not whether you watched that book live?
I did, but I watched like on their website.
Okay. Because if you don't know, it's a meme in the Avatar community how bad the book 3 ending was to watch live. Because, like, obviously the episodes themselves are great, but it was filled with commercials. There was so many more commercials than usual.
Oof.
And, like, every other commercial was Madagascar 3. Like, legit. I think somebody posted it was like legitimately like almost 50% of the commercials were Madagascar 3. So the part of the zebra doing the Afro song is like seared into Legend of Korra fans' heads.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm pretty sure I watched it on the website, but I don't remember ads like that. Like, there's probably some ads, but not like TV ads. Either I watched it on the website or I pirated it. But if it was on the website, then I probably watched it. But yeah, I'm really surprised they're partying with Nickelodeon again, which I guess Nickelodeon probably has the rights. But after how Korra book 3 and 4 went, especially 4, when they're like, "Hey, give us this many episodes and this much time and this much budget. Also, we need one more episode now, suddenly, even though we didn't tell you about it." So I hope you like a fucking recap episode on season 3, episode 10.
if I remember right, there was a good number of recap episodes in Legend of Korra, which is weird because the seasons are only like 10 episodes
Yeah.
long.
I only remember the one, but there could be more. But at least they actually did a pretty good job of making the recap episode decent, because it's I don't know if you watched all of book 4 or not. But they do it like they have Varric and Bolin kind of like narrate it. So there's some new like dialogue.
Yeah, I remember I do remember seeing it, but I couldn't have told you that. I remember being like, I was like, okay, this makes sense, but disappointed that it wasn't done in the same style as Avatar's recap episode was.
The play.
Yeah, come on, the Ember Island Players is like one of the best Avatar episodes.
No, it's great.
And
But-
I'm Toph. I'm here to teach you earthbending. I'm blind, so I see through echolocation.
Does that even count as a recap episode though?
It's as close as we get.
I mean, fair, but I was like, I don't know, because it's all like the purpose of like isn't to recap the audience.
Yeah, it's inaccurate information, but it's also like the closest you're gonna get to a it recaps the major events.
Fair.
It's just like with them mildly wrong.
I was pretty late to I was on Korra. I was on time for, because that I literally
There was a
just
gap.
yeah, but I had just like but I was late to Avatar. I did not watch it till after it was long after it was aired. Like I think I watched it like the year before Korra came out. Like I think that's why I started watching it when like Korra got announced. So I was really behind. And obviously memes and stuff. And I remember seeing the play episode before watching the show and just being like, what the fuck? Like, there's a lot of clips of the play. I was like, what is this?
I've seen a lot of people like it's one of those episodes that is controversial. It's like either A, it's on your like bottom 10 list, or B, it's in your top 10. There is no in between.
I've heard no one dislike it. I thought it was beloved by like everyone.
I have heard a lot of people put it in like the bottom 10. It's like it's a recap episode for a show that doesn't need a recap episode. It's not that funny. Character development isn't that good. And then other people are like, it's the funniest episode I've ever seen. And like it like really shows the nuances of the characters, even if it doesn't develop them. I'm like, I put it in the top 10 because I agree it's one of the funniest episodes I've ever seen.
Also, isn't there like a big Aang and Katara scene?
There is a scene where they like talk, but neither of them talk about their actual relationship, and no progress is made on it.
Oh, okay, I remember.
We see Aang get mad that in the play, Katara is into Zuko,
That's right.
but then he's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yes, I'm fine." And he walks away. But like they don't actually talk about the relationship or anything.
Fair. Yeah, no, I would put it. It's been a while since I've seen the original series. I think I haven't watched it since. I watched it the first time. I marathoned it the first time. But yeah, I think the plays feels like top 10. Obviously, Secret Tunnel. I couldn't tell you anything else that happens, but that song alone makes it top 10.
I'm not gonna lie here. I actually think that episode's a bottom 10, and it is saved exclusively by the Secret Tunnel.
Fair. Again, I don't remember. I remember nothing about the episode, which probably speaks to the episode. But the song, I love the song. But
There's
yeah,
a couple of good jokes in the episode. For example, Sokka gets stuck with the hippies, and while they're going through the tunnel, and there's an amazing line where it's like where he's like talking to the hippies, and they're like, "Oh, we have 6 torches, and each torch lasts 2 hours." So they light them all. They're like, "Now the torches will last 12 hours."
that's pretty good.
But yeah, the actual episode itself is very forgettable.
Fair. Yeah, I don't remember anything else about it, so that probably speaks volumes. But I like the song.
Did you ever see Nate Wants to Battle's cover of it?
I did not know.
Yeah, in like the middle of COVID, he dropped like a heavy rock version of it.
All right.
and people were just like, "Hey, Nate, you good?"
You all right, buddy?
People were like, "I think COVID's gotten to Nate."
I have a maybe I shared it. I can't remember because I like sharing shit. But I have a mug I really like. I actually don't even have it in our mug section. It's in my avatar section displayed. It's a cactus. And then it's got Fat Momo leaning against it.
Oh, that's cute.
Like I like.
Any day now, Magic the Gathering, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I can't wait to play Cactus Juice. It's the quenchiest.
Do you think it'll pair with Cactar?
People have joked that Sokka better have like immunity to cactus because of it.
Yeah, I've heard. The only thing I know about the Final Fantasy set is that like I know people. Oh, god damn it! Hold on, BRB. Listen here, you little shit.
I'm listening.
No, you don't get that. No. It'd be crazy if she picked a piece of chicken out of my macaroni dish, whatever pot.
First of all, she looks remorseful, so you should forgive her.
And then when I called her out, she like dropped it on the ground and tried to like, run away with it.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm sorry I missed it.
I did not let her have it.
What?
Yeah.
But you did it.
I don't care. That was all. Alright, sorry. Athena, I had mac and cheese and I put some chicken in it, and I had some left over on the pot, and she picked a piece of chicken out.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna remind you, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
You're going back for more? Fucking fatty.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson?
Alright, where am I going? Back to bed. Okay. Where's bed? Is bed this way? Oh, yep, she's pushing off. I covered it and she pushed off the cover.
Wham, 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 wham.
Alright, I put a lid on it. And by lid, I mean I took another frying pan and flipped it upside down. Alright, let's...
Trying to think of a clever way to describe that, but I can't.
Let's go to bed.
What is lid if not pan upside down?
Alright, so... I have my feelings on the first hour of this game. How do you feel?
It's a lot of dialogue, man.
It is a lot
It's
of...
fine so far. It's Final Fantasy. Like, it's got a lot of story. But man, I won't lie, with our talk about Avatar and shit, like, I have only been paying attention to half of it. So it's like, the boy's the Phoenix, and I'm like, which one?
Fair.
I'm sorry. We've met like 3 kids. Which one are we talking about now?
Actually, I like the Avatar talk because I already know this. I already know this part of the story, and I think it's told in a really boring way. So I'm like, oh, Avatar's making it.
I don't know anything about this, so I have no idea what's going on.
Fair. There is a pretty nifty like summary. Like I know most games have like a glossary, but like I think the glossary in this one is like pretty good.
Is this when Simple and Clean starts playing?
Simple and God, I was telling Yadi about Simple and Clean the other day because it's insane. I don't know if you've like listened to the lyrics of Simple and Clean, because like it's about like a relationship that's struggling with commitment, and this is what they put in their Disney action fantasy game. I'm like,
I remember I like the music video because it's not about like Sora and Kyrie or whatever. It's about Sora and his best friend. While the song about like romance is playing. It's like they are gay.
that's good.
There's the real gay couple. What are you guys talking about, Robotnik?
But even if you think about like Sora and Kyrie, like it's like a relationship that's like struggling with commitment. Like, why did they pick this?
I still don't think I will ever get over the fact that one day when I was working at Walmart, Simple and Clean played over the like I don't know if it was on Walmart radio or if somebody was fucking with the intercom. But Simple and Clean played in my Walmart, and then about 15 minutes later, Simple and Clean came on again. And then about 15 minutes later, Simple and Clean came on again.
Hell yeah.
I was like, ha. Well, I mean, it's not a bad song. I'm just surprised it's played. First of all, I'm surprised to hear it the first time, and the second, and the third.
Also, I like how we almost have 2 sex scenes in the first hour.
You know, I wanted to comment on it, but I wasn't sure how far behind me you were.
Fair. No, I just got that.
I really was about to be like, man, this game is really horny in its intro, and then he pushes her off, and I was like, oh, okay.
Nothing like insulting the guy's son when you're trying to romance him.
It's one of those put downs. Come on, it all comes back together.
Super Susu was right.
Your son's shit. Let me give you another.
All right, hear me out. We play Super Seducer, and then you write down some of these lines, and you go to a club in Miami.
All right. But like, I feel like we have to add a challenge now because, like, I mean, if it's Super Seducer, it's got to work correctly. Like, I got to have a challenge. Like, I got to go like the strip club.
It's fair. Or
Hey,
just
baby, here's $2. Anyways, I don't normally date fat chicks. Also, I've been rather disappointed, by the way, down here, in the fact that a lot of people apparently navigate like no areas by which strip clubs are there near.
oh,
Be
like over the air.
I'm like, oh, I'm by North Miami Beach. Like, oh, is that like near? Is that like near Big Tops or is that near like Fireball? And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, is that the one that's near the Target? I'm like, no, over those first two that you're talking about.
Yeah, we probably have more now, but for the longest time in my town, we only had like one strip club, so it was really easy to say, oh, it was over by Cheetah's.
See, I don't actually know any of the strip clubs around here except for one because it's like a block from my work. So it's like it's the joke. It's like, oh, I'm going to go get something to eat. What do you guys want? They're like, where are you going? And it's like, oh, we're going to the booby trap.
That's pretty good. All right, so this game was these cutscenes are so long. I'm curious, like,
I was going to comment. I was like, I don't think I've actually done anything in the last 25 minutes.
Nope. I think this intro is terrible. But like, I want to skip a cutscene because I know all this stuff and I know I'm a little bit behind. But I'm like, I don't know how far is it going to skip me, like another 20 minutes. Like, what is skip cutscene? Is it to the next scene or am I skipping the entire thing? But yeah, no. I think this intro, like, it all sucks.
All right. Like I was like, I don't think I've done anything since I went to bed. Pretty sure that was the last time I touched the game controller.
We just went to bed. I'm like, oh, how much longer is it gonna
You were
be?
sitting there for a minute, bro. She's got to try to fuck the king, and the king's gotta. You gotta have a talk with your with Kyrie. Then the king's gotta announce that they're going to war, and then you gotta talk to Brayden and Caden.
Yeah, we're at daytime now. And yeah, I literally wasn't gonna. Like, the demo made me think, oh, I don't want to play this game because I didn't even finish. The demo was pretty long, I think, but I didn't finish it. But then I was watching someone else play it, and like I watched past after the first like hour and a half. I'm like, oh, this looks fun. This looks interesting. Where was this the whole time?
I know you're. I know. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. You're more judgmental than I am, in general.
Yes. How dare you? Fuck you. But yes.
I'll say, in the nicest way possible. So I don't think it's like that terrible, but I will say I've been sitting here like, man, this cutscene has taken quite a bit.
Yeah, I still stand by my statement I made the other day that there's not a single JRPG with a good intro. They don't have to start like dog shit.
I mean, I'm sure there's some, like, and then there's,
the only ones I would argue would be Pokemon, but I don't know if that necessarily counts.
Final Fantasy VII starts right because you start on the mission.
That's true. Seven's opening's not bad.
3's is fine too. If you haven't played it, you start off like as kids that have fallen down the hole, and you get your context as you go through like the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm actually playing through three right now.
Are you playing the 3D remake or the Pixel one?
The Pixel remaster.
Okay, I played when I played it was the 3D remaster, and I really liked it.
I played that one.
It's my favorite Final Fantasy.
Fair, isn't it like the only one you've beat?
Yeah.
I played the 3D one too. I thought it was alright.
That's not true. I've beaten 15. But
Fair. Oh, you beat 15. Oh, wow. I did not like 15.
I thought it was okay. But when I like 3 is the like epitome of like when I think of Final Fantasy, I think of 3. Because when I think of Final Fantasy, I definitely think of turn-based and like class system.
Fair. I think the problem with a lot of early JRPGs and Final Fantasies in general, especially Final Fantasy, like, so some of the early Final Fantasies, it's just you don't have any options. Like, they take way too long to give you any sort of options in combat. You're just spamming attack.
Well, that's why class systems are good.
But even then, you don't even get like even like playing 3, you didn't get magic for your you didn't get magic for the first.
You get
like, little
magic.
chunk. You didn't get
the first. It's like the first crystal.
Well, you get the black mage, but you don't actually get any spells.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, and again, maybe they changed it in the 3D version. But
yeah, the big issue I remember having with 3 is the final dungeon sucks ass. The final dungeon sucks ass, and I've heard people complain about one of the middle bosses. Although I didn't have that complaint about the middle boss, because you're definitely supposed to play as a dragoon, because it gets like super effective damage, and it's one of the only classes that does any damage to him. And people are like, I don't want to have to play as a dragoon, and I had already made my character a dragoon. So
fair. Yeah, no, that boss is wild to me, because I know people complain about it, but like the NPCs, they all tell, like they very much tell you multiple times to be a dragoon in the city. Well,
and I mean, even with that, I still don't think any RPG should like make you be a certain class. Like Pokemon should not be like, hey, you're going up against the grass gym leader. You need to bring a fire type.
Well, Pokemon Let's Go.
Even Let's Go. Well,
you had to have a water or a grass type for Brock. You couldn't enter the gym without it.
What water type could you even get before Brock?
Probably just Squirtle.
Maybe you can get Squirtle. Honestly, I forgot that the gym leaders had requirements on Let's Go. Now that you've mentioned it, do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember any of the other requirements. I think it's mostly like level.
Yeah, so I think it's like level, or you have to have like seen like 20 Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I very few But like, so like, I don't mind people being like angry about that. But like I said, it was one of those things. Like, I don't have that complaint
Fair.
because I was already a dragoon. But even I agree that the final dungeon sucks dick.
Yeah, I'm about midway through the game right now, and I gotta say, it is alright. I played 4 before this, and I was definitely like... Before playing them, I was like, what was the first good Final Fantasy? Was it 3 or was it 4? And after playing them, I'm gonna say 3 is not bad. To me, 3 is comparable to Gold and Silver. It's like the first real game, but it's not. It's still got a lot of fucking issues. And
I got an achievement, and it's shit. But I really thought it said sheesh. And I was like, I fucking hate this game.
and then Clive flosses.
I got the achievement. It's called So Skibbity. It's called shit, and then really, but it's like with a bunch of E's, and I genuinely thought it was sheesh for a minute, and I was about to like fucking pitch a fit.
Why is there a quick time event to punch through a fence?
You know, I noticed it, and I was gonna let it go, but even I was like, why do we have to have this like big wind up to smash a fence? Didn't we just like it was like same thing where when you had to open the door. I was like, why is there this big wind up to open a door? Oh, you're the Phoenix. Okay.
I don't know if you remember or if you played God of War 2016.
Not fully, only ever played like the first part where you're fighting what's his face?
Oh, Ball, whatever.
Yeah, Ballsack.
Ballsack. Wait, did I go the wrong way? I think I got turned around. There's no enemies this way, so I'm gonna say I went the wrong way. Yeah, I think that fucking fight's one of the best parts of the game. But no, the issue I have, they fixed it in Ragnarok, but God of War, that God of War, there's a whole fucking event every time you have to open a fucking door. Like whenever you need these transport doors to go between different realms, aka different levels. It's a whole fucking quick time event, and it's fucking stupid.
So I know that these characters have been given names, but again, I've like only been half paying attention to the cutscenes, so I only know some of them. Hence me saying like you had to go talk to Brayden and Caden, because I definitely didn't learn these characters' names. But the one that I choose to name Caden just sat there, and I don't know if you're to the point where you're fighting the goblins yet or not.
Yeah.
But there's a big goblin who does like a big spin attack, and my character like dodged out of the way, and this guy's just sitting here getting whacked and whacked and whacked and whacked, and then gets flung the fuck away, and I'm like, you stupid bitch, got hit like 7 times by that.
Yeah, I'm curious how this game handles like party, like, because I know you're just Clive, but I don't know if like, is there gonna be customized? Is it? Are you gonna have like your Braydens and your Cadens, and do you get to customize them? Is it just you and just random guest characters? I have no idea. We'll learn that together.
Join us, friends, next time.
All right. Yeah, is this a good place to stop? It is probably a good place to stop. It is 7:20. All right, what goblin fight are you at?
Did
you fight? You fought the big goblin?
The big one.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was currently chasing down the small goblin.
Okay, I'll fight the big goblin, probably, and then that's where we can start off next time. But hey, we finally get to play the game now. Are you excited to play the video game?
No, I like the cutscenes.
That's right, we picked story focus.
Yeah, I did.
Alright. I actually don't know where to go. Nothing is. I killed the goblins and I don't see a path.
There's a path, you just have to like go. You have to like climb on some shit. Oh, it's one of the plant things. I remember the plant things.
Oh, okay, there's the path. I have to break a fence.
Did he just call that thing a motorboat?
Good old motorboat.
Oh, Morble. Okay, sure. I legitimately thought he called it a motorboat. I'm like, there's so much motorboating in this game.
It is the horniest. Actually, fucking 7. The 7 remakes are probably the horniest.
Is there a quick time event where you get to bounce Tifa's boobies?
Probably.
Quick time event. You're dressed as the girl for whatever his name is. Launch your shit. Quick time event. Squeeze.
We watched the we went to the Final Fantasy 7R, whatever the second one was, orchestra, a couple months ago, and they all played like cutscenes during the music. And let me tell you, there was a lot of fucking bikinis. And I'm like, this wasn't in the base game.
I was gonna say, where would bikinis be in Final Fantasy VII?
I don't know, but there was a lot of them. And if there's not a lot of them, then they just showed them over and over again.
Final Fantasy VII. I really like when Aerith was about to get impaled by Sephiroth that she said, "Wait a minute, I'm wearing too much clothes. Give me a second."
Yeah. God, Caden and Brayden are useless.
Yeah, are you fighting the big one?
About to fight the big one.
I am waiting for you to get to the big swing attack because I want to see if Caden just gets his shit stomped in yours too.
Here, yep. Here's the big one. Oh wait, one of those name is Wade.
Sure.
Too bad you're Caden and Brayden. Shit, I need to dodge more. Or Phoenix Shift. I need to do anything but just smash square. I will say from what I have played, I do like the combat a lot more than 15. I hated 15's combat.
15's combat was okay.
I was not a fan. And I think this is a lot better. But hey, if we ever get bored, you can turn on fucking autoplay.
Why?
I don't know, but that's a thing.
Oh, you can do jumping attacks. Cool.
Because I remember when the game first came out, or some people were trying to do oh shit! I got hit by the big attack. I got hit by the big attack again. Yeah, when the game first came out, someone...
Did you get hit by the swingy, the spinny swing?
The big swingy.
Oh, Cody, you're no better than Caden.
I got hit by it twice.
Cody, you're worse than Caden.
But when the game first came out, I remember it was someone was spreading misinformation by like showing clips of the autoplay and like putting like his hands up, like, oh, look at how easy this game is, but not saying that, hey, he's got the autoplay feature turned on. And that was a big deal. It was like day one the game came out. I'm like, why are you doing that?
So people aren't happy unless they're miserable. You know?
Good old, I love spreading misinformation about a game.
Yeah. So people aren't happy unless they're making people mad. I'm one of those people, but only when it comes to board games.
All right.
The motorboat has been slain.
Okay, you beat the motorboat?
Yeah.
Alright, well, there's our Final Fantasy 16 beginning.
Review time, what do you think?
I think this is the portion of the game where this mission onward, I think the game is better. But I think the whole hour before this is pretty miserable. And I'm not a fan. I don't like the jumping time. I don't like really anything about how the story's told. Alright, do we save wherever? It's 2024, so I'm gonna assume we could save wherever. Jesus, there was a lot of fucking menus. I just want to get to save. Okay, cool. Another thing, I don't know if you've saved yet, but another thing I do like is when you do save, you have a pixel version of your party. and that's really neat. Oh, we won't stream for an hour.
I'll save now.
Huh?
So I haven't, but I'll save now.
There. We've only been streaming for an hour. Damn, felt like. I guess I'd start. We start a little late.
Where do I save?
You just gotta hit start or whatever, and then go to system.
Apparently, I have to go to the next location before I can save. Probably can't save in the map.
Oh, I saved it in the overworld.
After you-
Oh, you like in the map?
after you beat yeah, after you beat the motorboat, it brings you to the map.
Oh, yeah, probably not. But
Hey, look, that's